I never thought I'd be the kind of guy to ask strangers on the internet for relationship advice. But here I am. It's been a wild ride these past few months, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything that's happened. I guess I should start from the beginning. 8 months ago, I met this girl. Let's call her Sarah. She was beautiful, funny, and we hit it off right away. At first, I wasn't looking for anything serious. I just wanted some casual fun, you know? But as time went on, we kept seeing each other, and things started to feel different. About 3 months in, we decided to make it exclusive. I was surprised at how easy it was to be with her. We got along well, and I found myself really enjoying her company. Now, I knew from the start that Sarah had a kid. She was upfront about it, and I respected that. The kid's father wasn't in the picture much, but I didn't think too much about it. I figured it wasn't really my business, and as long as it didn't affect our relationship, I was cool with it. But then, in mid-July, everything changed. Sarah came to me with this news that her ex, the father of her child, wanted to do these family photo shoots for Halloween and Christmas. She said it was for their kid, so he could have pictures of his mom and dad together when he got older. I'm not gonna lie, that didn't sit well with me. The idea of my girlfriend dressing up and taking family photos with another guy, even if it was for her kid, just rubbed me the wrong way. But that wasn't even the worst part. Sarah then dropped the bomb that her ex's lease was up, and he was going through a rough patch. She was considering letting him move in with her for a while. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My girlfriend wanted her ex to move in with her. It felt like I was in some kind of bizarre sitcom plot. I'll admit, I didn't handle it well. I didn't yell or anything. But I also didn't stick around to talk it out. I just ended things right then and there. Maybe that makes me an asshole. I don't know. But I've always believed that if something doesn't suit me, I should remove myself from the situation. I'm not about telling people how to live their lives, but I'm also not about sticking around when I know something's not going to work for me. Since then, Sarah's been blowing up my phone, begging me to reconsider. She keeps saying that she doesn't have feelings for her ex, that she loves me, and that she's just trying to do right by her kid. I get it, I really do. I know being a single parent isn't easy, and I respect that she wants to co-parent effectively. But living together, that's a whole different ball game. I've seen enough drama in my life to know that exes living together, especially when there's a kid involved, is just asking for trouble. And it's not just about the living situation. The idea of Sarah and her ex dressing up together for Christmas or carving pumpkins as a family, it just doesn't sit right with me. I mean, shouldn't the kid know that his parents aren't together? Isn't that what co-parenting is about? Doing things separately for the kid, except maybe for big events like the first day of school. I'll be honest, I did grow to like Sarah over the time we were together. But this whole situation is just too much for me. I'm not interested in competing with her ex or constantly wondering what's going on when I'm not around. It's not about trust. It's about peace of mind. Now, Sarah's friends and sisters are getting involved. They're posting stuff on TikTok, calling me names, saying I'm not a real man because I'm not secure enough in the relationship. It's all a bunch of bullshit, if you ask me. Being secure doesn't mean being okay with your girlfriend living with her ex. It's not about insecurity. It's about having boundaries and self-respect. I know I've made my decision, and I'm sticking to it. I'm already starting to move on. But I can't help but wonder if I'm missing something here. Am I really the asshole in this situation? I mean, I get that Sarah's in a tough spot, trying to balance her relationship with me and her responsibilities as a mom. But isn't there a line? Shouldn't there be some boundaries when it comes to exes, even when there's a kid involved? I keep thinking about what I would do if I were in Sarah's shoes. Would I ask my new partner to be okay with my ex moving in? Would I expect them to be cool with me taking family photos with my ex? It just doesn't seem fair or realistic to me. And then there's the kid to think about. I wonder if it's really in the child's best interest to have his parents pretending to be a happy family for photos when they're not actually together. Isn't that kind of confusing? I mean, I'm no expert on child psychology or anything, but it seems like it might send mixed signals. I've been talking to some of my friends about this, and opinions are split. Some of them think I'm being too harsh, that I should be more understanding of Sarah's situation. They say that being with someone who has a kid means dealing with the other parent too, and that I should have known what I was getting into. But others see it my way. They think Sarah's crossing a line by even considering letting her ex move in. They say it's disrespectful to our relationship and that I'm right to walk away. The thing is, I really did care about Sarah. We had a good thing going, and part of me wonders if I'm throwing away something great over this. But then I think about how I'd feel if I stayed. Would I always be wondering what was going on between Sarah and her ex? Would I feel like I was competing for her attention, or worse, for her affection? And what about the future? If I stayed with Sarah, would I always be the outsider in these family situations? Would I have to sit out the Halloween pumpkin carving and the Christmas photos every year? That doesn't sound like a relationship I want to be in. I keep coming back to the idea of boundaries. I think it's important to have them in any relationship, but especially when there are exes and kids involved. Maybe my boundaries are different from Sarah's, and that's okay. It just means we're not compatible. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I want in a relationship. I want someone who puts our relationship first, someone who considers my feelings when making big decisions. I want to be with someone who sees a future with me, not someone who's still so entangled with their past. At the end of the day, I think I made the right choice for me. It wasn't an easy decision, and I'm not happy about hurting Sarah. But I think staying in that situation would have only led to more pain and resentment down the line. I'm trying to look at this as a learning experience. Maybe next time, I'll be more cautious about getting involved with someone who has such a complicated situation with their ex. Or maybe I'll be better prepared to handle it if it comes up again. For now, I'm focusing on moving forward. I'm not interested in the drama or the name-calling on social media. I know who I am and what I'm about, and I don't need to justify my decisions to anyone but myself. So, am I the asshole here? Maybe, maybe not. I guess it depends on your perspective, but I can live with my decision, and I think that's what matters most. Life's too short to stay in situations that make you uncomfortable or unhappy. Sometimes, you just have to know when to walk away.
I never thought I'd be in this position, questioning whether to attend my own sister's wedding. But here I am 2 weeks away from the big day, and I'm seriously considering not going. It's not a decision I've come to lightly, and it's tearing me apart inside. But after what Ella did to Mark, I'm not sure I can forgive her, let alone celebrate her marriage. I've always been the quieter one, the introvert to Ella's extrovert. Growing up, it never really bothered me. We balanced each other out in a way. She was the life of the party, always surrounded by friends and admirers, while I preferred smaller gatherings and deeper connections. Our differences never caused any real problems between us. We were close despite our contrasting personalities. When I met Mark, it felt like everything in my life finally clicked into place. He's everything I could have ever wanted in a partner, kind, supportive, and understanding. He gets my need for quiet nights in and never pushes me to be someone I'm not. We've been engaged for about a year now, and I've never been happier. I thought my family liked Mark. They seemed to welcome him with open arms, and he fit right in at family gatherings. Ella, in particular, always seemed to get along well with him. They joke around at dinners, and she'd often ask his opinion on things. I never suspected there was anything sinister brewing beneath the surface. About a month ago, Ella asked Mark to meet her for coffee. She said she wanted his help picking out a wedding gift for me. It seemed innocent enough at the time, and I didn't think twice about it. Mark agreed, always happy to help out my family. When he came home that day, I knew something was wrong. Mark is usually talkative and cheerful, but that afternoon he was quiet and withdrawn. At first, he brushed off my concerns, saying he was just tired, but I could tell there was more to it. After some gentle prodding, he finally told me what had happened during his meeting with Ella. To say I was shocked would be an understatement. According to Mark, Ella had spent the entire time trying to convince him that I wasn't right for him. She told him I was boring, that I lacked ambition, and that he could do better. She even suggested that he should call off our engagement and date other people. Mark was blindsided by her words. He said he defended me, of course, but Ella was relentless in her criticism. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My own sister, the person I'd grown up with, shared secrets with, and trusted implicitly, had tried to sabotage my relationship. It felt like a betrayal of the worst kind. I was hurt, angry, and confused all at once. After taking some time to process what Mark had told me, I decided to confront Ella. I needed to hear her side of the story to understand why she would do something like this. Part of me hoped there had been some kind of misunderstanding, that Mark had somehow misinterpreted her words. But when I confronted Ella, she didn't even try to deny it. She admitted to everything Mark had said, and worse, she seemed to feel justified in her actions. She claimed she was just looking out for Mark, that she wanted the best for him. When I asked her why she thought it was her place to interfere in our relationship, she just shrugged it off, saying she was being honest. I was stunned by her lack of remorse. I told her how hurtful her actions were, not just to me but to Mark as well. I explained how her words had upset him, how they had made him question our relationship, but Ella didn't apologize. Instead, she doubled down on her position, saying that if I was truly confident in my relationship, I wouldn't be so upset by her comments. I left her house in tears that day, feeling more hurt and betrayed than I ever had before. Since then, I've barely spoken to Ella. The thought of facing her, of pretending everything is okay, makes me feel physically ill. Of course, word of our falling out eventually reached our parents. They were upset when they heard what had happened, and they agreed that what Ella did was wrong. But now, with the wedding just 2 weeks away, they're begging me to put aside my feelings and attend. They argue that missing the wedding would cause a huge rift in our family, one that might never heal. They keep telling me to let it go for the sake of peace. But I don't know if I can do that. Every time I think about what Ella did, I feel a surge of anger and hurt. How could I stand beside her on what's supposed to be the happiest day of her life, knowing that she tried to destroy my happiness? How could I smile and congratulate her when she showed such disregard for my feelings and my relationship? I've always been the peacekeeper in our family, the one who smooths things over when conflicts arise. But this time, I don't think I can just let it go. What Ella did wasn't a small slight or a misunderstanding. It was a deliberate attempt to undermine my relationship and my happiness. Mark, for his part, has been incredibly understanding throughout this whole ordeal. He's told me that he'll support whatever decision I make about the wedding. He's even offered to attend with me if I decide to go, despite how uncomfortable it would make him. His support means the world to me, but it also makes me even angrier at Ella. How could she not see what an amazing person Mark is? As the wedding day draws closer, the pressure from my family is intensifying. My parents call almost daily, trying to convince me to change my mind. They've started using guilt tactics, reminding me of all the times Ella's been there for me in the past, of how much it would mean to her to have me at her wedding. They argue that family should come first, that we should be able to forgive and move past our differences. But this isn't just a difference of opinion or a petty argument. This is about trust and respect to things that Ella shattered with her actions. How could I trust her again after this? How could I respect someone who would so callously disregard my feelings and try to sabotage my happiness? I've tried to imagine how I would feel if I attended the wedding. Would I be able to genuinely smile and celebrate? Or would I be faking it the entire time, my resentment and hurt simmering just below the surface? And what about Mark? How would he feel, standing there among people who know what Ella did, wondering if they agree with her assessment of our relationship? On the other hand, I've also tried to imagine how I would feel if I didn't attend. Would I regret missing such an important moment in my sister's life? Would I be able to forgive myself for causing a rift in our family, and what about the future? How would this decision affect family gatherings, holidays, and other important events? It's a decision that's keeping me up at night. I find myself going back and forth, weighing the pros and cons, trying to figure out what the right thing to do is. Part of me wants to be the bigger person, to show up at the wedding and prove that Ella's actions haven't affected me. But another part of me feels like attending would be a betrayal of myself and of Mark, a tacit acceptance of Ella's behavior. I've always prided myself on being a forgiving person, on being able to see things from other people's perspectives. But in this situation, I'm finding it incredibly difficult to empathize with Ella. I keep trying to understand her motivations, to find some explanation that would make her actions less hurtful, but I come up empty every time. As the days tick by, I know I need to make a decision soon. The wedding is approaching quickly, and I can't keep avoiding the issue. My parents need to know whether to expect me or not, and I need to give Mark enough notice if he's going to come with me. I've considered talking to Ella one more time, giving her another chance to apologize and explain herself. But I'm afraid of what might happen if she doubles down again, if she continues to insist that she did nothing wrong. I'm not sure I could handle hearing her justify her actions once more. I've also thought about writing her a letter explaining in detail how her actions have affected me and why I'm struggling with the decision to attend her wedding. Maybe if she could truly understand the depth of my hurt, she would realize the gravity of what she's done. But then again, maybe it would just give her more ammunition to use against me, more reasons to claim that I'm overreacting. As I sit here, mulling over my options, I can't help but feel a deep sadness. This should be a joyous time, a celebration of love and family. Instead, it's become a source of stress and heartache. I find myself mourning the relationship I thought I had with my sister, the trust and closeness we once shared. I know that whatever decision I make, it will have long-lasting consequences. If I go to the wedding, I risk compromising my own values and potentially hurting Mark. If I don't go, I risk damaging my relationship with my family, possibly irreparably. It feels like there's no right answer, no clear path forward. In the end, I think it comes down to this: can I truly celebrate Ella's love and commitment when she showed such disregard for mine? Can I stand beside her and wish her happiness when she tried to take away mine? And most importantly, can I forgive her for what she's done, even if she hasn't asked for forgiveness? These are the questions I'm grappling with as the wedding day approaches. I know I'll have to make a decision soon, but right now I'm still torn. Part of me hopes for a miracle, for Ella to suddenly realize the hurt she's caused and make a genuine apology, but I know that's unlikely to happen. So here I am, caught between my love for my family and my need to stand up for myself and my relationship. It's a position I never thought I'd be in, and one I wouldn't wish on anyone. Whatever I decide, I know it will be a decision that will shape my relationships and my life for years to come. And that's a weight that feels almost too heavy to bear.